Tonight, artists from across the country have gathered in New York to honor the greatest songwriter of America. From Carnegie Hall, Irving Berlin's 100th birthday celebration. It's McLean.
What care I who makes the laws of a nation? Let those who will take care of its rights and wrongs. What care I who cares for the world's affairs? As long as I can sing its popular songs. To Irving Berlin, this was not an idle claim. All he ever wanted to do was write songs. So wherever we turn, whatever memory hits us, he's there. With songs so familiar, it's almost as though they weren't written, but more like he was talking to us. Let me sing a funny song with crazy words that roll along. And if my song can start you laughing, I'm happy, happy. Let me sing a sad refrain of broken hearts that loved in vain. And if my song can start you crying, I'm happy. Let me sing a low-down blues to lift you out of your seat. If my song can reach your shoes and start you to tap in your feet, I'm happy. Let me sing of Dixie's charms, of Swanee shores and mother's arms. And if my song can make you homesick, I'm happy. He wrote for everybody. It didn't matter what part of the country you were from or what style of music you liked. Everyone could identify with Berlin. It was like he took your heart and gave it back to you in song. And lest we forget, he wrote the words and the music. Let me sing of Dixie's charms, of Swanee shores and mother's arms. And if my song can start you laughing, and if my song can start you crying, or if my song can start you dancing, I'm happy. Happy 100th, Mr. Berlin.
From Carnegie Hall, Irving Berlin's 100th birthday celebration. Starring Beatrice Arthur, Tony Bennett, Barry Bostwick, Nell Carter, Ray Charles, Rosemary Clooney, Natalie Cole, Walter Cronkite, Billy Eckstein, Michael Feinstein, Morton Gould, Bob Hope, Marilyn Horne, Madeline Kahn, Garrison Keillor, Shirley MacLaine, Maureen McGovern, Willie Nelson, Jerry Orbach, Marianne Plunkett, Diane Shore, Frank Sinatra, Isaac Stern, Tommy Tune, Joe Williams, and with appearances by the Boy Scouts of America, the Girl Scouts of America, the U.S. Army Chorus, and the United States Army Training Center, Fort Dix, New Jersey. And now, Walter Cronkite.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, blue skies smiling on me. I'll be loving you always. The words could not be simpler. And yet with them, Irving Berlin helped write the story of this country by capturing the best of who we are and the dreams that shape our lives. Since 1906, Irving Berlin has written more than 50 1,500 songs. And it is there that we find our history, our holidays, our hopes, and our hearts. Tonight, Irving Berlin turns 100. As he watches us from home, sending us his blessings and his good wishes, we celebrate the man and the legend that he certainly has become. Maureen McGovern, Jerry Orbach, Michael Feinstein, and Nell Carter begin our celebration of a songwriter who, more than any other, created out of the rhythms of America the songs that we all now call our own.
Demons at your honey a dreamin', won't you play me some rag? Just change that classical nag to some sweet, beautiful drag. If you will play from a copy of a tune that is choppy, you'll get all my applause. And that is simply because I want to listen to rag. Musical demons at your honey a dreamin', won't you play me some rag? Just change that to some sweet, beautiful rag. If you will play from a copy of a tune that is choppy, you'll get all my applause. And that is simply because I want to rag. One with good old-fashioned harmony. Play a simple melody. A pretty girl is like a melody that haunts you night and day, just like the strain of a haunting refrain. She'll start upon a marathon and run around your brain. You can't escape. She's in your memory, both morning, night, and noon. She will leave you and then come back again. A pretty girl is just like a pretty tune. In your Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade.
You'll be all in clover, and when they look me over, you'll be the proudest fella in the Easter parade.
On the avenue,
Fifth Avenue,
the photographers will snap us, and you'll find that you're
take your happiness while you may. Beneath the light of the moon, we sang a love song that ended too soon. The moon descended and I found with the break of dawn you and the song, but the melody lingers on.
As a child I got wild when the band played. How I ran to that man when his hands swayed. Clarinets were my pets, and the slide trombone I thought was simply divine. But today when they play I could hiss them. Every bar is a jar to my system. But there's one musical instrument that I call mine. I love a piano. I love a piano. I love to hear somebody play on a piano, a grand piano. It simply carries me away. I know a fine way to treat a Steinway. I love to run my fingers over the keys, the ivories, and with the pedals I love to meddle. When Paderewski comes my way, I'm so delighted when I'm invited to hear that long-haired genius play.
my honey.
Ow, my honey. Better hurry and let me enter. Ain't you going? Hey, you. I said, ain't you going? To the little man, ragged needle man. Oh, my honey. Oh, my honey. Let me take you to Alexander's grandstand, raspberry land. Ain't you coming along? Now dance, hey!
Tonight, artists from across the country have gathered in New York to honor the greatest songwriter of America. From Carnegie Hall, Irving Berlin's 100th birthday celebration.
Irving Berlin's 100th birthday celebration. Sponsored by...
Thank you, and welcome. Of all the pianos that have graced this glorious house of music, Carnegie Hall, this battered old veteran, is the only one that belongs to a man who doesn't read or write music, never took a music lesson. But what a musician Irving Berlin was. He played the piano fairly well, but only the black notes that he could see, usually starting with this F sharp. It was the basis of all the things he wrote. When he began writing 83 years ago, American popular music had no voice of its own. We were a hodgepodge of nationalities and noises. But he heard nothing but melody. Sweet, sweet melody.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her.
Like much of what is typically American, Irving Berlin arrived here from somewhere else. Without a backward glance, it was 1893. When, at age 4, his family brought him from the old world for a chance at the new.
Sweet home.
The tenements of the Lower East Side bustled with sounds of the past and talk of the future. For America offered the chance to make your own life. Young Izzy, said his teacher, likes to listen to the sounds and dream. He quit school at 8 to become a street singer. Music had caught the boy. From singing in a local cafe, he moved quickly to Tin Pan Alley, turning out songs in the style of the day. But the times were about to change, and so was Berlin. The rhythms of exuberance guided America as she claimed the 20th century as her own. A new age should have its own music, he said. With one song, the career of Irving Berlin and American music were intertwined forever.
Come on in here, Alexander the ragtime band. Come on in here, it's the best band.
As hit followed hit, American music was born at his piano. Every Broadway show had a Berlin tune, like the Ziegfeld Follies, who asked for a song and got an anthem. By 30, he was a legend.
I just got an invitation through the mail.
A magician of song. His hits turned into trademarks.
Got no diamond, got no pearl, still I think I'm a lucky girl.
Then, into memories.
When they look us over, we'll be the proudest couple.
But his sweetest gift of all is a loving reflection of ourselves. Out of the fabric of our lives, Irving Berlin has given us a place we call home.
Ladies and gentlemen, Willie Nelson.
All right, thank you very much. One of my favorite songs is Blue Skies that Mr. Irving Berlin wrote. So we'd like to do it for you now. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but blue skies from now on. I never saw the sun shining so bright, I never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly by. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ray Charles.
I thank you. I also want to thank Mr. Irving Berlin for making such wonderful vehicles for me to help me in my career because, you know, I guess it's like an actress or an actor who loves a good script, and of course, he gave us the good lyrics, and I'm so much into that. I'm very privileged and very honored to be a part of his 100th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Berlin. How much do I love you? How can you know life? How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky? How many times a day do I think of you? How many roses are sprinkled with dew? How far would I travel just to be where you are? How far is the journey from here to a star? What will I do when you are away? And I'm so blue, what will I do? What will I do when I am with you? kissing you. What will I do, baby? What will I do with just photograph to tell my trouble when I'm alone? Only dreams of you, baby, that won't come true. What will I do? With just a photograph to tell my trouble when I'm alone. All the dreams of you that won't come true.
What will I do?
Tell me when I wanna talk to you. What will I do?
What will I do? What will I do?
When I'm wondering who's kissing you.
What will I do?
What will I
What will I do?
Tell me, what will I do?
What will I do? What will I do?
Tell me, baby, what will I do?
What will I do? What will I do?
I think America opened its doors to everybody, and we came to America and brought from our own countries our music, but because we were here and given this opportunity, we formed a music of our own, you see.
These days, people talk a lot about truth in labeling.
I can do better. I can do anything better than you.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Anything you can be, I can be greater. Sooner or later, I'm greater than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, Beatrice Arthur.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Tell me, was there anything that Irving Berlin could not do? You know, when he was 32 years old, he built a theater, the Music Box, so that every year when he wrote a new musical, he'd have his own place to show it. And with 15 hit shows to his name, he could have retired, but instead, he took some time off from Broadway to write a few hit movies and, oh yes, a national anthem. And when he was 58, Rodgers and Hammerstein asked him to come back to Broadway. Well, Mr. Berlin only likes to write hits. So as a result, it was Annie, Get Your Gun and Call Me Madam. Well, of course, there could only be one Ethel Merman, but tonight I get my chance. And along with Mary Ann Plunkett and Barry Bostwick, I'm going to take it.
It's a lovely day today, and whatever you've got to do, you've got a lovely day to do it in. That's true.
And I hope whatever you've got to do is something that can be done by two. 'Cause I'd really like to stay.
It's a lovely day today, so whatever you've got to do, I'd be so happy to be doing it with you. But if you've got something that must be done, and it can only be done by one, there is nothing more to say, except it's a lovely day for saying it's a lovely day. I'm the chosen party giver for the White House clientele. And they know that I deliver what it takes to make them gel. And in Washington, I'm known by one and all as the hostess with the mostest on the ball. If your thoughts are presidential, you can make it, yes indeed. There are just 3 things essential. Let me tell you, all you need is an ounce of wisdom and a pound of gall. And the hostess with the mostest on the ball.
I hear singing and there's no one there. I smell blossom and the trees are bare. All day long I seem to walk on air. I wonder why. I wonder why.
You don't need analyzing.
No
it is not so surprising that you feel very strange but nice.
All day long I seem to walk.
I know just what's the matter because I've been there. I
wonder
why. Put your hand on my shoulder. You need someone who's older or rub down with a velvet glove. There is nothing you can take. God bless me. You're not sick, you're just in love.
They say that falling in love is wonderful. It's wonderful. So they say.
And with the moon up above, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. So they tell me. I can't recall who said it.
I know I never read it. I only know they tell me that love is grand. And the thing that's known as romance is wonderful, wonderful in every way.
So they say. The girl that I marry will have to be soft in his head as a nursery. The girl I call my own will wear satins and laces and smell of cologne. Her nails will be polished, and in her hair she'll wear a gardenia. And I'll be there instead of flitting. I'll be sitting next to her, and she'll purr like a kitten. A doll I can carry. The girl that I marry must be.
Got no diamonds, got no pearl. Still, I think I'm a lucky girl. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Got no mansion, got no yacht. Still, I'm happy with what I got. I got the sun in the morning and the moon at night. Sunshine, got no banks. Still, I'd like to express my thanks for the sun in the morning and the moon at night. And with the sun in the morning and the moon in the evening, I'm all right.
I got lost in his arms, and I had to stay. It was dark in his arms, and I lost my way. From the dark came a voice, and it seemed to say, there you go, there you go. How I felt as I fell, I can't recall, but his arms held me fast, and it broke the fall. And I said to my heart, as it foolishly kept jumping all around, I got lost, but look what I found.
The costumes,
The scenery,
the makeup,
the props, the audience that lifts you when you're down.
The headaches, the heartaches, the backaches, the flops, the sheriff who escorts you out of town.
The only when your heart beats like a drum.
the clothing when the customers walk around. It's no business like show business. Like no business I know.
Everything about it is appealing.
Everything the traffic will allow. So we're taking it the happy feeling when you cross steering. That is the bound. There's no people like show. People they smile when they are low. And with a turkey that you know will hold, you may be stranded out in the cold. Still you wouldn't change it for a sack of gold. Let's go on with the show. Let's go on with the show.
Very fashionable for the songwriter after he has a big hit to say, well, I thought this all out, so they don't at all. They write as good as they can, and then something happens that has nothing to do with them. And that's what happened with There's No Business Like Show Business.
I was cooking out on the continue.
A celebration. Sponsored by Anheuser-Busch Companies, brewers of Budweiser and Michelob, who proudly salute Irving Berlin on his 100th birthday. And by Kraft, which brings you good food and good food ideas.
We had some problems out of town, and one time Irving came to me and said, we need something, a dance, a song to open Act Two. I said, well, give me something to dance about and I'll dance it. He said, oh, that's the title. So he went right and wrote that song, Something to Dance About, and off we went.
Ladies and gentlemen, Garrison Keillor.
Mr. Irving Berlin once said that a songwriter is not much more than a mirror which reflects the feelings of the crowd. And it's true, he had a sweet gift for grabbing what he heard around him in the crowd and making it into poetry. In Putting on the Ritz and Shaking the Blues Away and Let's Face the Music and Dance, and so many songs, he took common American talk, our talk, and made it into poetry. He gave it back to us as beautiful treasures of how we feel. Not fancy, not too highbrow, but simple and graceful. Like, how much do I love you? I'll tell you no lie. How deep is the ocean? How high is the sky? How far would I travel to be where you are? How far is the journey that goes back to the star? He wrote great songs and good songs and some fairly good songs and some fabulous songs like God Bless America. Always absolutely on the nose like White Christmas, and always economical. Here is a poem of 81 words by Irving Berlin without one unnecessary word in it. Just like a melody that lingers on, you seem to haunt me night and day. I never realized till you had gone how much I felt about you. I can't live without you. All alone, I'm so all alone. There is no one else but you. All alone by the telephone, waiting for a ring, a ting-a-ling. I'm all alone every evening, all alone feeling blue, wondering where you are and how you are, and if you are all alone too.
Good evening. I'm Natalie Cole. Don't let the simplicity of Berlin's words fool you, because in his songs are every feeling a human soul can have, every joy and every hurt that love can bring. Coming home no more. Supper time. Kids will soon be yelling for their supper time. How'll I keep from telling that man of mine ain't coming home no more. How'll I keep explaining when they ask me where he's gone? How'll I keep from crying when I bring their supper on? How can I remind them to pray for their humble boy? How can I be thankful when they stop to thank the Lord?
and gentlemen, Frank Sinatra.
Thank you very much. Every year I always call to wish a happy birthday to Irving. And this year I decided I'd rather sing it to him. But I wanted to find just the right song. And there's one I know is his favorite song because he gave it to his wife as a wedding gift. And after 62 years of marriage, I know he'd like to give her the gift all over again. I'll be loving you always with a love that's true, always. When the things you planned need a helping hand, I will understand. Days may not be fair, always. That's when I'll be there, always. Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always. And then quite a beautiful song. I lost the sunshine and roses. I lost the heavens of blue. I lost the beautiful rainbow. I lost the morning dew. I lost the angel who gave me summer the whole winter through. I lost the gladness that turned into sadness when I lost you. What a beautiful song. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Irving. Happy birthday to you.
Now at McDonald's, when you buy a fresh tossed...
In the world, remarked this future president. He didn't master the alphabet until he was 9. Learning to read was a mighty struggle.
Diet Pepsi, and now caffeine-free Diet Pepsi, the taste that's generations ahead.
Coin TV salutes Junior Rose Queen, Kenya.
Irving Berlin's 100th birthday celebration. Sponsored by McDonald's.
Back in 1917, I wrote a song called Smile and Show Your Dimple. And this is how it went. Smile and show your dimple. you'll find it's very simple. Ta-da-da-da-da, something. Light your face up and smile. Well, that made the tune for Easter Parade, and it's since become an Easter song.
Ladies and gentlemen, the president of the American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers, Morton Gould.
I would like to tell you how tonight's celebration came about. A year ago, I received a phone call from Mr. Berlin, who was checking in to see how we were doing. Now, he's been checking in from the very beginning, from 1914, when, as a founding father of ASCAP, he helped establish this organization to protect the rights of those who write our songs. He has always shown a deep concern for the writers and publishers who make up our membership. During our conversation, I said, Mr. Berlin, next year is your 100th birthday. May ASCAP present a tribute? Without skipping a beat, he said, what's the hurry? 6 months later, he called back and said he'd give his blessing to our tribute and suggested we join hands with Carnegie Hall. Mr. Berlin, you are and always will be the master, the greatness to which we all aspire. 1,500 songs, 19 Broadway musicals, and 18 Hollywood movies that begin with the very first talking picture.
Blue sky, smiling at me. Blue sky, do I see? Oh, don't know.
Come, get together. Let the dance floor feel your leather. Step as lightly as a feather. Let yourself go. Come, hit the timber. Loosen up and start to limber. Can't you hear that hot marimba? Let yourself go.
We're having a heat wave, a tropical heat wave. The temperature's rising, it isn't surprising, you certainly can.
For laughter, joy, and happiness, we're advanced men with a song and a dance. If you're worried and you can't sleep, just count your blessings instead of sheep, and you'll fall asleep counting your blessings.
They would go to Elsa Maxwell when they had an axe to grind. They could always grind their axe well at the party she designed. Now the hatchet grinders all prefer to come on the hostess with the mostest on the bar.
Love, you didn't do right by me. I'm back on the shelf and I'm blaming myself, but it's you. I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the guy I'm taking to the Easter parade.
and gentlemen, Rosemary Clooney.
When I'm worried and I can't sleep, I count my blessings instead of sheep, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. When my bankroll is getting small, I think of when I had none at all, and I fall asleep counting my blessings. In the same film that Bing Crosby sang, Count Your Blessings, he also sang White Christmas. And it was the second time, the second film, because he had introduced it in Holiday Inn 12 years before. When we were pre-recording, Mr. Berlin was walking up and down, pacing nervously. And Bing turned to him and said, "Relax, Irving, it's already a hit." White Christmas is this country's longest running hit. We couldn't have Christmas without it. The sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees sway. I've never seen such a day in Beverly Hills, L.A. But it's December the 24th, and I am longing to be up north. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Merry Christmas, Irving.
In 1934, Irving Berlin got a call from Hollywood. Movie musicals were in full flower. He was the genius, so movies wanted his touch. When he arrived, he was a big celebrity, and naturally everybody wanted to meet him. A very famous director walked up to Irving Berlin and told him how much he liked his new song. Berlin looked up at him and said, "Thank you, I like it very much too. I've used it lots of times." Well, Berlin didn't use many songs lots of times, but he did use some. A song associated with Fred Astaire in the 1940s was originally a hit in a 1929 movie. It was about Friday night in Harlem, and now in the original hit is Tommy Tune.
The well-to-do up on Lenox Avenue, on that famous thoroughfare, with their noses in the air, high hats, colored collars, white spats, and $15, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem sits, putting on the Ritz. Spangled gowns upon a bevy of high browns from down the levee, all misfits, putting on the Ritz. That's where each and every Lulu Belle goes, every Thursday evening with her swell beau, rubbing elbows. Come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits, putting on the Ritz. On the
Thank you. Well, I can't tell you what a thrill it is to be a part of this evening. Mr. Irving Berlin, thank you for writing the songs that keep America singing and for writing the tunes that keep America dancing.
Anything thing over here named Berlin they cut up into sectors.
Good evening. This is Bob Hope. I met Irving Berlin for the first time in New York back in the 30s. He was already a legend, and I was struggling to become one. Now, everybody knows Irving wrote God Bless America and White Christmas, but most people don't know he got his start with songs like Yiddle on Your Fiddle. But he really hit his stride on Tin Pan Alley with hits like, If You Don't Want My Peaches, You Better Stop Shaking My Tree. He even gave Fanny Rice her first comedy number, Sadie Salome, Go Home. Irving sure had his finger on the pulse of the time with hits like, He's Getting Too Darn Big for a One-Horse Town. You may laugh, but those were the songs people wanted to hear, and Berlin wrote them faster and better than anyone. I was the recipient of his talent when I made the picture Louisiana Purchase, which had an Irving Berlin score. Irving and I traveled to the airlift together in 1948, and when he got up in Wiesbaden in front of those troops and sang God Bless America, it was a great moment for everybody because it was straight from his heart. And from my heart, Irving, I wish you a very happy birthday.
Good evening. I'm Madeline Kahn. There are those who would say that Berlin's perhaps most charming songs were written when he was quite young, such as the following example, which I will sing for you. Johnny was bashful and shy. Nobody understood why. Mary loved him. All the other girls passed him by. Everyone wanted to know how she could pick such a beau. With a twinkle in her eye, she made this reply. He's not so good in a crowd, but when you get him alone, you'd be surprised. He isn't much at a dance, but then when he takes you home, you'd be surprised. At a party or at a ball, I've got to admit, he's nothing at all, but in an easy chair, you'd be surprised. Mary continued to praise Johnny's remarkable ways to the ladies, and in no advertising pays. Now Johnny's never alone. He has the busiest phone almost every other day. A new girl will say,
the height of the Depression or whenever we went through tough times, Irving Berlin was there to ease our cares away and remind us.
There may be trouble ahead, but while there's moonlight and music and love and romance, let's face the music and dance.
No one could take your mind off your troubles like Irving Berlin. His music set the world's feet tapping until you had to let yourself go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe Williams, Diane Shore, and Billy Eckstein.
Stepping out with my baby, can't go wrong, 'cause I'm right. It's for sure, not for maybe, that I'm all dressed up tonight. Stepping out with my honey, can't feel bad, it feels so good. Never felt quite so sunny, and I keep on knocking wood.
They'll be smooth sailing 'cause I'm trimming my sail.
In my top hat and my white tie and my tail.
Stepping out with my baby, can't go wrong, 'cause I'm in right. Don't ask me where the day be, the big day may be tonight.
Marie, the dawn is gray. Waiting to find the spoken education that you'll surrender to me.
Dance with me, I want my arm around you. The charm about you will carry me to heaven.
I'm in heaven.
And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak.
And I seem to find the happiness I seek when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Say it with music, beautiful music.
Somehow they'd rather be kissed to the strains of Chopin or Liszt.
Melody, mellow, played on a cello, helps Mr. Cupid along. So say it with a beautiful song. Say it with music,
beautiful music.
Somehow they'd rather be kissed to strange Chopin or Liszt. Beautiful, say it with a beautiful.
With a beautiful.
Say it with a beautiful. Say it with a beautiful.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony Bennett.
Thank you very much. From 1922 to 1926, Mr. Berlin wrote more hit songs than almost every composer in the history of popular music in the world. And in 1929, the year of the great crash, he wrote this song. Shaking the blues away, unhappy news away. If you were blue, it's easy to shake off your cares and troubles, telling the blues to go. They may refuse to go, but as a rule they'll go if you'll shake them away. Do like the voodoos do, listening to a voodoo melody. They shake their bodies so to and fro. With every shake, a lucky break, proving that there's a way to chase your cares away. If you would lose your weary blues, shake them away. Take a joke. Do like the voodoos do, listening to a voodoo melody. They shake their bodies so to and fro. With every shake, a lucky break, proving that there's a way to chase your cares away. If you would lose your weary blues, shake them away. Shake them. Shake them. That's what the man says. Shake them. Shake all the blues away.
Natural high-fiber cereal from Kellogg's. Part of a high-fiber, low-fat diet. So important for good health.
We were at war. And White Christmas became, instead of a war song, a peace song. Guys who were in New Guinea or in the Pacific who had no Christmases were dreaming of a white Christmas. I didn't do it. And may all your Christmases be white.
Almost a half a century ago, early in World War II, I was a young, very young, war correspondent stationed in Europe to a continent engulfed at the time in bleakness, misery. There came a hit show from the United States performed entirely by soldiers called This Is the Army. It was written, well, by whom else? Irving Berlin. The show began on Broadway, and after a sellout tour across the United States, was turned into a movie starring Ronald Reagan and George Murphy. It then went overseas to entertain American and Allied troops right behind the front lines. In its 3.5-year run, the show raised close to $15 million, which, at Berlin's request, was donated to the Army Emergency Relief Fund. One of the show's highlights was Berlin himself singing the song that expressed his own lifelong lament and became something of a rallying cry for every soldier of the world around. Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning.
Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I'd love to remain in bed. For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up this morning. Someday I'm going to murder the bugler. Someday they're going to find him dead. I'll amputate his reveille and step upon it heavily and spend the rest of my life in bed.
Hey, fellas, get a load of this wire.
Anybody I know, John?
We're going on tour. What do you know, Boston, Philadelphia, Washington?
Washington? Hey, wouldn't it be something if the president came to see us, the chief himself?
Yeah, wouldn't it be something if we could get this makeup off our kisses before the war's over?
You said it.
We like the barracks nice and clean. You
Corporal Jack Lenny, dancer. This is the Army. Music was Mr. B's way of saying what he meant. When we were at the Palladium Theatre in London, Mr. Berlin was invited to sit in the royal box. He said, imagine me, an immigrant boy, representing America to the King and Queen of England. But we could imagine it because Mr. B was our flag, and we waved him proudly.
My name is Herbert Fluker, a private and a tap dancer, and this is the Army, a show-stopping number called What the Well-Dressed Man in Harlem Would Wear. Made us the first integrated unit in the United States Army. We traveled together. We traveled together as a group of human beings, black and white, American soldiers, trying to do something for our country. We had a leader who treated us all like sons, and that was Mr. Berlin. I'd like to say to Mr. Berlin, I hope you live another 100 years. Mr. Berlin, this is the Army.
The Boy and Girl Scouts were another beneficiary of Irving Berlin's great generosity, with royalties from the one song that he said took no push to get started. In 1938, when Kate Smith asked him for a song that would speak to all Americans on the verge of war, Berlin took out of his drawer one he had written years earlier, but had never used. Like everything else, it may have been his song when he wrote it, but it became a song for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Marilyn Horne.
While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us swear allegiance to a land that
I don't know if anything could possibly have happened that touches me as deeply as this medal. God Bless America isn't just a song that I wrote, but it expresses my gratitude for the opportunities and the freedom to write that song and to the country that inspired it. Thank you very much.
Now at McDonald's, when you buy a fresh tossed salad.
By Anheuser and by Kellogg's Corn Flakes. What more could you want from a cereal?
How do you wish happy birthday to a man who gave us everything? We can't sing happy birthday because that's one of the few songs he didn't write. But he did write one song that means more to us in our business than anything else. And it is so fabulous to sing it for the man who wrote it. There's no business like show business, like no business I know. Everything about it is appealing. Everything the traffic will allow. Nowhere do you get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow.
There's no people like show.
Air travel provided by United Airlines. From the ground up, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies.
Everything about it is appealing. Everything that traffic will allow. You get that happy feeling when you are stealing that extra bow. Is this on show? Is this on no? Is this on no? Everything about it is appealing. Everything that traffic will allow.
About the broad spectrum of American music, the Library of Congress suggests these books. A Salute to Irving Berlin by Michael Friedland, and you must remember this, Popular Songwriters 1900 through 1980 by Mark White. These and many other interesting books are waiting for you at your local library and bookstore. Visit them. They'll be happy to help you read more about it.